just to cover the game last week, really, when you sit back and evaluate the game, two areas of concern I had was one, we gave up that day too many big plays on defense, too many big pass plays. I think there were 11 plays for 300 yards, which is way too many. And then we're not making any big plays as far as tackles for losses, sacks, and that usually adds to bad field position and allowing things to happen. And second was punt coverage. We're there to make a play, we don't make it, and lose contain. And allowed really one touchdown there for 92 yards, and then a 72-yarder with a corner, bid on a fake and didn't play his position right. But overall, that was the difference in the game as far as not making plays on defense and basically punt protection or punt coverage, not getting things done we had to get done. Offensively, we got to make plays. I mean, as far as we're moving the ball, we're controlling possession, but the key is put the ball in the end zone. You got to make some plays there. So that's been the message to the players and the coaches as far as what we have to get accomplished. I just think defensively they've been playing well, and I thought they were out of sorts, out of position more often than I thought they should have been as far as to make plays, and that stuff be worked on, has to be corrected. With that, I'll open up to any questions.
George, it's a short week. When you lose a game like you did on Saturday, you prefer to have more time, but is there an element of good to getting back on the field and playing a game quickly?
Well, it is. I think it's good to get right back on the field, not lament on the game as far as, if it was a 2-week bye, you'd be really in trouble. But, we got back Saturday night, graded the film out Saturday night, and, worked Sunday, and players come in, met as far as go over the mistakes in that game, SMU, and then I put it behind us. And from 6 o'clock last night on, it's been pretty much UAB as far as with the players and the coaches. And then again, with a short week, we wouldn't practice today. We'll practice Tuesday, and we will practice Wednesday before we head out, fly out to Alabama. But again, we have a couple of situations like that coming up. Memphis, then Tulsa right after. So, you go with the schedule you dealt with, and but I'm happy with playing right away. I think you need to move on. I think the mistakes have been shown to the players, and again, the thing that bothers me more than anything else was the guys that have experience that I don't expect to make those mistakes. And I think whether they're over anxious or over committed to some things, or trying to make a play when it wasn't the right time to make a play in coverage, that's what I saw on tape. But again, the corrections have been made, and we're 3-3, and that's about where we were a couple of times in my career here, and we ended up doing what we had to get done. And that was my message to him yesterday, that you still got a lot of games left in conference play, and we control our own destiny in conference play.
Coach, you just said you've had some veterans now on special teams. You made some changes to put some more vets there. Are there any more changes you can do?
No, really, and I'm not picking on any one kid. Josh comes down, misses the tackle, and the contain guy who's been a all-conference special teams player for us, instead of keeping contained, tries to go in and make a big hit to cause a turnover, and all of a sudden it's going down the sideline, and that was the end result. I think that play, and I think the 72-yarder down the sideline on the one corner with the two, stick a pin in the balloon type of plays that you're going, whoa, and then you become somewhat of a cheerleader on the sideline, getting the kids going. So I addressed all that with our players, and I think experience is what takes over now as far as how you handle things and what you do with it. But I think the big thing is that our good players got to start playing great, and our players that are just learning need to start playing good. And that's how I addressed it with everybody. And everybody wants to win, all right? But the old saying is that everybody wants to win. No one wants to lose. But I mean, how bad do you want to win? That's really what it breaks down to in football. So again, that was addressed to the kids yesterday, And as I told them, we're in this together. I mean, there was decisions made out there. I was trying to get some things going. Normally I'd punt or something, but you know, we got the first down, and even in the end of the game, they're on the 9-yard line. The game's never over till that clock ticks 0. So, but we were trying to get some things going, and the onside kick is, you know, we should have probably had that. I thought it was a hell of a kick, and we got our hands on it, and the young freshman didn't control it. But we got another game this week. That's a very important game against UAB. That, you know, when you watch them on film, they're so close to getting things done right. They really are. They've been in every ball game except for maybe one. So they have some talent. You know, we got to go up and play our game and do what we have to do to be successful.
You've talked about the need for more big plays. What can you do to get more sacks, force fumbles?
Well, I always said this, and I addressed our team with it. I think tackles for losses, we got to be more active with our linemen. You know, they're the ones that normally cause the tackles for losses, and I think we've been a little bit stagnant as far as, you know, what I'd like to see, and that's been addressed as far as with the coordinator and his assistants. As far as, I think we got a lot of speed on defensive front. We need to start utilizing it, and not be so stagnant with those guys, and give yourself an opportunity to get into the backfield and cause some disruption.
Does the same go with sacks? Does it seem like your pass rush?
Well, the sack, you know, to me, I think, in fairness to them, I think that, you know, I think people are throwing the ball fairly quick, but, you know, I think when you look at when we're a good sack team, which is usually every year, we have great second effort players, and I addressed that with the coaches and the players yesterday as far as what is second effort. Because most good pass rushes in the NFL, they very rarely beat you on the first move. It's the second move, the second effort move that gets you some pressure on the quarterback, or a quarterback hit or something of that sort. And you know, that's what I've been addressing with our players and our coaches as far as, you know, it's not the initial, it's the second move and the second effort move that we need to really get better at.
How about throwing the ball down the field? You talk about chunk plays. How do you?
Well, you know, you know, Jeff is out there and we're getting first downs, and you know, I'm not a big stat guy looking at him, but I think the key to any offense is putting the ball in the end zone. I mean, I think we did what we had to do. If I look at that game and say we controlled the ball for 37 minutes and changed there 22 minutes and change, you know, that's ideally what we're looking to get done. We moved the ball for a lot of yards, but we didn't put points on the board. And that's what the end result is. And I think it's, you know, we got to be able to come up with something. And again, we put Bortles in, and you know, he hit a couple of long passes right away, and I think 3 plays and a touchdown. And I was again pleased with the way he went out there and executed and took advantage of what people were doing. And we just got to get Jeff throwing that ball a little bit more downfield and throwing it on time, not late, so it's into double coverage.
What about what you saw from Warden and Reese getting into the
I tell you what, I thought the freshman receivers went out and did very well. I really did. They're going to be really good football players, and the one I'm waiting to see break something loose is Hall. I think Hall really has all the talent base to be an outstanding receiver. He has some range to him. He has great speed, and probably has, besides him and Warden, they have probably the best hand-eye coordination on the ball as far as catching ability. So he's one of them we're waiting to break loose, and he'll see more time this week coming up.
In terms of Bortles, are you still looking to get him into the rotation a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I've addressed that. I think we need to do that. You know, and only because I think it's a good change of pace myself, and he has a little different idea about, you know, as far as getting the ball downfield, and again, when we put him out there in tough situations, he's responded very well, so he deserves a shot. But it's still Jeff's football team, and again, I think if things aren't going right, I don't have a problem putting Bortles in the game, but you know, Jeff is moving the team. We just got to get the ball in the end zone, and because we're doing the right things from, you know, across. We've hurt ourselves with some penalties on offense get 3 for 40 yards, which are holding calls, and you can't do that. So those are things that stalled some of the drives, but I thought both quarterbacks are productive. But you know, I like the way Bortles is playing. I think he's going out and he is nothing. He takes over and he gets it done from a production standpoint.
You said all the way back to summer camp, you like his demeanor, and you threw him in there. He had to go in against BYU, and he was ready.
It was 2nd and 19. He sort of put that thing in a window, you know, as far as when he threw it. But I mean, he has that, demeanor about himself that nothing really flusters him, and he has a good feel for what's going on in coverage and where the ball should be delivered, and he can do all the things that we need to get done in the run game. But it's good to have someone that you can put in and get things done like that.
Any improvement you're looking to see from your offensive line this week? Anything you're...
Well, you know, I counted 9 plays in this game that one more sustainable block, and it becomes a 20, 25-yard gain and about 3 touchdowns. So, again, that's what you keep preaching to them, and you know, and they see it on film, and judging by practice today, they're understanding that you stop on the whistle, you know, and you never know what block is going to be the key block. And as I tell them all the time, there's about 6 plays a game that make a difference, and that was probably true in Saturday's game, you know, the plays I just described.
Anything else?
Think you'll be joining a new conference this week, George?
I really don't have any idea. My concern is, right, and let me say this, I think Conference USA has been outstanding to me anyway, and to UCF, and you know, whatever happens is going to happen. You know, I don't have much to say about it. You know, I think that's the president, administration decision as far as what's going on. I'm sure when something comes down the pike, they'll ask my opinion. But I think whatever's going to happen happens. You know, and but I think there's a lot of things going on now. I hear that they don't want you to handshake anymore at midfield and stuff after the game. People need to grow up. They really do. We got enough problems with players. You don't need them with coaches.
Is it Jim Schwartz and Harbaugh's fault?
Someone told me to come over. You did that they whatever happened there, and I always try to shake hands with them and look them in the eye and say, "Have a good trip home." That's normally what I say. Have a good trip home. If they're home, stay healthy. That's normally the words that I use. And you don't carry a lot of conversation because one guy feels great, the other guy feels bad, and there's no sense talking about it. I'd probably treat my brother the same way.
So that is real, Coach? You're not supposed to shake hands this weekend?
No, I'm going to shake hands with whoever wants to. No one ever wants to shake hands with me anyway. I mean, I'm standing right in front of half these guys and they're looking all over like they don't see me. But I always shake hands and wish them, hey, you have a good trip home, or hey, you stay healthy the rest of the year. That's it, and see you, goodbye. And I got my own problems. He has his problems. That's the way it works.
Did you see the merger between Mountain West and Conference USA coming, George, and were you at all surprised by it?
No, I thought they were putting so much news out about it that it was something that, everybody's looking to get a little edge on things, I would think. And at least I'm happy that Conference USA was proactive in trying to get some things done. I really am. And whatever happens with conference play, we're better right now because of that alliance and because of what it could lead to.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.